Yes, indeedy. What's up, India?
Nothing much. This is episode 38.
38 of the Run Duo, and I am Tommy Mitchell.
And I am India Cook.
And we are
the Run Duo. What's up, y'all?
I hope everybody is safe from Hurricane Dorian.
Yes.
Is that right? Is it Dorian?
It is.
It's Dorian? Okay.
Yes.
Hope everybody's safe from Hurricane Dorian. If you're in the path. Right now, I think it's still over the Bahamas, but it could affect some people's Saturday runs.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in South Georgia. I know that it is going to hit South Georgia. So our people that are Savannah-Macon listeners, people that are a little bit more south, y'all be safe out there. I do have some people. I know some people in the Bahamas. So
oh, really? Have you heard
they're
from
doing
them?
Okay right now.
Okay.
But you know.
It really settled in the Bahamas. It got to Bahamas like, okay, I'm chilling.
My old college roommate is
really?
from the Bahamas.
Okay.
She doesn't live there now, but she still has family and stuff that's
you.
there. So sending prayers to them.
Definitely, most definitely. So
sure.
Be safe out there. I mean, I know everybody wants bucket list stuff, but running a hurricane should not be on your bucket list,
No,
okay?
it should not. Be safe, y'all.
Exactly. So,
yes.
India, we getting close.
We are getting close. We are actually a month out from race day.
Month out.
1 month out.
How you feeling?
I am ready for race day. Ready for race day in the midst of just, I kind of want to get it over with. I'm at that point now where I think the same way that people get for marathon training, you get to like the last month or so and you're like, I'm just ready for race day. Can we get this over? That's how I feel. Last week was a little tough for me.
Okay.
So I don't know. I've been battling with some headaches that have not been, and I don't know about y'all, but running with a headache is the worst feeling ever.
Yes.
Because obviously you're pounding on the pavement and it's just like, ugh. So last week was a little tough for me, so I did take some extra days off.
Okay.
But you gotta listen to your body and go from there. So, but I have 4 weeks to make sure I can.
So, are you actually in Taperville? Like, has the training changed?
No. I don't know if Coach O knows what Taperville is.
Like, no, it's exactly the same.
No, it has not changed. I'm still doing.
I got a little problem with that.
No problem per se, but I have not received that yet. And I know I've had some people DM me because I did 13 weekend before last. I had 13 on a roster this weekend as well. And everybody's like, but you're running a half, you're not running a full. And I'm like, listen, I have a run coach. Hey. I'm just doing what he's saying to do.
Don't. You know what you need to tell people? Lace up, fool.
Right. So I'm just doing what he says to do. I'm minding my business. Whatever he puts on my app to do, that's what I run. Okay. So that's what I am doing. I just know, I know in my mind mentally, I'm like, India, you've been running 13 miles. You're going to be fine as far as getting it done. Of course, the race is a lot hillier, which, that neither here nor there. But I think I should be okay. It's going to get done.
No, I think you're going to do great, personally. Yes. I think you have been training. You've been putting your heart and soul in this.
I have.
I mean, before this, had you done, and you might have said this before, but before this, had you actually done, like, track speed work like he's got you doing?
I hadn't done track speed work since 2016.
Okay.
So it had been some years since I had done track speed work, but I also just remember when I did it in 2016, I think I hadn't had an official plan. I was just kind of going out there doing some, some 400-mile repeats, 800-mile repeats.
Gotcha.
So of course, he's giving me repeats. He's giving me how many miles. He's giving me the pace that he wants me to attempt to achieve. So it's been some years since I've done speed work.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know speed work will make a huge difference.
Yes.
So you definitely, and you got to build on it though. So once we finish the race, we're gonna get you signed up for something else. We're gonna give you a week or so off,
a week,
and then we're gonna keep it moving.
I'm probably gonna do the PNC 10 miler.
Okay.
I want to say that's the week or two after.
Is that for the bag? Are you trying to do? Are you doing
the bag is cute. Have you seen
the
drop,
bag?
What
is it called? The drop bag?
Yes. It's a cute bag. So for Atlanta Track Club members, and anybody that runs in Atlanta, the 10 miler that is in October, they have a really cute bag that's going to be given. And of course, I'm not into t-shirts because a lot of times, unless it's a dry fit t-shirt, I really don't care for it. So the fact that they're giving bags and other things is really exciting for me. I was online today and I saw the New York Road Runners is giving out some New Balance shorts for one of their races. I was like, can we get that, please?
What?
Yeah, so it's one of their races that's happening this weekend. So I was like, wow, so they're actually giving out like runner shorts. So
that's kind of cool.
I mean, was cool. I think it's good for
to kind of change it up.
Yeah, like t-shirts all the time. You know, like we really don't.
What would get you going? What would make, like, if you saw it, you were like, oh, I gotta have that.
I'll go for a bag. I love running in hats, so I'll go for a hat.
Okay.
I don't like, if you were to give me something other than a t-shirt, I will get going for a dry fit t-shirt. Like, I don't, because if it's not dry fit, I'm not running in cotton. Like, I think like the Peachtree Road Race t-shirt I wear the day of, and then that's it. It goes in my drawer and I don't touch it again.
I haven't worn this year's, but I wear the red one. I wear all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't usually wear the t-shirts. So if you were to give me a different type of apparel, like maybe a sports bra, like obviously that varies for everybody, and like you may not be able to wear it to run because of support and stuff. But I would go for a bag. I actually like when Atlanta Track Club gave the socks. For membership. Was that 2 years ago? Last year. I want to say it was last year.
Yeah, I got mine.
So I was okay with that. I never wore them, but I thought that I was excited for something different.
Yeah.
And the hat was good too. Something different. So I think hats, headbands would be nice. Like, I know, like sweatband type things would be good. Not necessarily like women's headbands, but like sweatbands would be good. So hat, shorts, dry fit t-shirt. Yeah. So something other than a cotton shirt.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, I remember at one time there was a race out in San Francisco that was primarily focused toward women, where I think they gave away jewelry.
Yeah, so that was the Nike Women's Half Marathon. They gave a Tiffany necklace.
Yeah, it didn't last.
No.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I want to say they did that a couple years. It wasn't like it wasn't super announced for that race. Like that race wasn't something. It was all... And I maybe misspeaking this, but at one point I think it may have been an invite-only race kind of thing. And then it wasn't something that was like, hey, sign up for the Nike Women. Like, it was almost like you had to know some people that, you know, that was going. But, yeah, that happened. I think when I found out about that race, it was like the last year that they did that.
Yeah. And, I mean, you know what? There's some races that it's not about what they give. It's just, it's that kind of race. Like, I think Peachtree's like that. I think because, you know, like, they don't give a medal.
Right.
We all don't like the shirts, but you know, I think it's just that race. It's the atmosphere. You know, everybody else is going to be there. It's a race to run. I think the Lululemon, the one in, is it Vancouver? Sweezy, what's it called?
Yeah, that's Seawees.
Seawees. Yeah, I think that's another one. I don't think they give a whole lot of swag, but I think it's because it's that race and you know, they have all the other stuff that surrounds the race that makes it enjoyable for people to go out and run it.
Definitely. And I think that's what a lot of races, and even here in Atlanta, they have a lot of races that don't even get a medal. You don't get a medal, you don't get a t-shirt, but I think that we enjoy going to it. Just the atmosphere and going to it.
Exactly. So. Well, I mean, the race gives you a medal, but we would go, even if they didn't, we'd still be there for the race.
We would be.
Yes, but just, you know, we still are before we get too far away from it. Yes. Just remember, 1 month, people. We got 4 weeks for India to do her thing.
Yes. And if you have not signed up for the race, on September 15th is another price increase. So stop waiting, stop procrastinating. September 15th is another price increase again. So please, please, please don't procrastinate on getting into the race. Half marathon and 5K is the option. So definitely for those that are wanting to come to Atlanta, I know there has been some circulation of maybe some hotels and stuff. So, but hit us up if you need some assistance with that. I'm sure we can maybe connect you with the right people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, let's get into those racers that are running for some serious medals.
Yes.
Those Olympic qualifiers.
Yes, so I've been seeing a lot of people. Well, you said Olympic qualifier. I was thinking about Boston. Okay. Well, that's one thing.
We can go to Boston first.
So we can go to Boston first. So, of course, I've been seeing a lot of people that have qualified for Boston, you know, getting nervous about submitting their information because, of course, you can qualify for Boston, but that does not mean that you get a seat for Boston.
Yes.
So, or not a seat. You get a bib and be able to race on the radio in April 2020. So, coming up September 9th is when they will send in their entries, and hopefully people that have qualified that will be able to run. So good luck to everyone that qualified for the Boston Marathon. Hopefully you all can get a bib to get into the race.
Exactly. Good luck to everybody. I mean, it's my dream to one day wear Boston, but we'll
you can do this, Tommy.
We'll see what happens.
You can do this.
My training has been different. But we're gonna do what it do.
Yes. Something else really exciting. Did you see that they did a trial run for the Ineos for Kipchoge's trying to do the break in 1:59? So last weekend they did a trial run. Of course, Kipchoge was not there, but the Pacers went. Okay. They had all the technology. They had everything out. All the Pacers going over their spots, how they're going to interchange in and out. So it was actually pretty cool to see them doing a lot of videoing on that, and a lot of the people that were running, like Lagat, he is one of the Pacers, and so he was posting how exciting it is. And of course, again, Kipchoge was not there, but his Pacers and everything were there to do the trial run, see how broadcasting is going to be and everything.
Yeah. So Kipchoge's the only one doing this one. He's not going to have anybody else trying to break it.
It's just going to be
just Jim. See, I think it's better when there's other people with you.
Pushing it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it is. I mean, not like who's
going
to push him, but
I'm
just saying.
Running, like you push yourself. No, I get it.
Yeah, I just think it gives you that atmosphere of a race and, that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that for sure.
Yeah, I just need them to drop this date so I can make sure that I'm available.
Oh, I thought you were going to, so I can get my plane ticket.
No. India, not there yet. Not there yet. But it's going to be something that's really exciting.
Well, you know what? We might want to go ahead and, see if we can, maybe because the Run Duo, we're like, hey, we're the Run Duo. We need to be at this, thing. Maybe somebody will, send us over there.
Come on. Anybody that knows us, send us some tickets to Vienna. Yes.
Now, what I was talking about was the Olympic trials that's going to be taking place here in Atlanta, Georgia in February. They changed the course. Well, I guess the course wasn't actually official in the first place.
Right. So this is something, course changing, that's not anything, it's not anything that's a, oh wow, why did they do it? I think it's more so an oh wow for some people, because there has been so much conversation, Tommy, around the course, right? But this is not something that is new for an Olympic trial course. They're going to come out and survey the course. They're going to talk to spectators and runners and everything. And I think that's one of the reasons, and I know that you mentioned this before in another podcast, that Rich from Atlanta Track Club, he mentioned in the beginning, like, don't stress so much about the hills and let's not make it such a big deal. And I don't think that was his way of doing that so that stuff doesn't get changed, but at the same time not mentally getting into the athletes' minds. But per Atlanta Track Club and just everyone, all the governing bodies for the Olympic trials, they're changing it not only for the spectators but also for the runners. So of course, runners, the people that are going to be running it, are able to give their input on how they feel. Of course, people that came to run the road to goal and did a little one lap, they were able to see how it was. And I know some people have been out here running and they are able to see what it looks like. So they are changing the course, and we'll see. And this may not be the last time.
Well, I mean, just from the little bit of article that I read about it, it definitely looks like originally the Atlanta Track Club, and they're still doing that, but they're trying to get the course in historic areas of Atlanta.
Right.
Because originally, I think one of the things that they did get rid of was supposed to be like a loop around the Margaret Mitchell House.
So that is what was taken out.
Yeah.
So the Margaret Mitchell House loop in 10th Street is basically what was taken out.
And if you don't know who Margaret Mitchell, she's the person that wrote Gone with the Wind.
That's correct.
So I think they were trying, but I kind of saw the loop they were talking about, and I can see why they took it out, because they were making turns, and they were like, it was less than like a tenth of a mile. It was very
quick turns.
Yeah, and they were like, we don't want to do that.
Right.
Which I would expect if somebody's running, trying to qualify for the Olympics or win the Olympic qualifier, they don't want to be doing that either. A chance of fall. I mean, every time you make a turn, there's a chance you can fall.
It would be more safer for the athleets.
Exactly.
And obviously, when you're making turns, and they're going to be dropping 6 minute miles.
Exactly.
We don't need 4 and 5 minute miles at some point. We don't need them to get hurt. So that's a good chance. So previously it was a 6 mile loop. Now it's been replaced with 8 mile loops that they'll run 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting, and I think it's still going to be exciting. And there's probably may not be the last draft of this, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, I think definitely cutting down on the amount of times they have to do the loop I think is great. I like the last loop that they have that they kind of changed. If you want to see that, I think the Atlanta Track Club has their own little website for the Olympic trials,
right?
Where you can see they have a little video kind of showing you where it is. I thought it was cool because I was like, okay, next time I do a 20 miler, I might just go run these loops.
Exactly. So they have the virtual. They actually have a virtual tour of the course as well as a paper, like a map.
Yeah.
A map online. So you can definitely go to atc.com and be able to look at that. And just something else that's really big amongst that article, they basically announced the numbers of the people that will be participating in the race. So right now it's 341 women and 181 men. So I think that's
341 women.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so
that's as of August 28th.
Do you change, like, okay, since so many women got in, do you change down the line, look at making that qualifying time faster?
I think I don't think that they're not going to be for this one.
But
in the
down
future,
the line.
I think it's going to continue to change. Just the same way that Boston continues to change every year. I think it will continue to change every year.
Yeah.
Or every time that it's time for the Olympics. I think it will continue to change. Because at the end of the day, especially if you're getting people that's qualifying like that, I think they're going to make it tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like I said, I like the change, and I think it'll make it more exciting for the actual runners.
Right.
Which to me, yes, it is supposed to be for the spectators, but in the end, it's about the runners.
It is.
It
is. And of course, for the spectators, it's going to be great. They're going a little bit over a mile more on Peachtree Street, which is the main street in Atlanta that runs through the city. So that's awesome for spectators and awesome for cheers. I think that's awesome. And they're also, it is a difference in elevation. Atlanta Track Club hasn't officially put out the numbers for elevation, but there is a reduction in elevation.
Because you're not making as many loops. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That is going to be crazy.
It is.
I'm
going
down Peachtree?
Yes, I'm super excited.
You gonna dress up? You gonna get a cheer?
I'm gonna have my cowbell and everything out. Like it is going down. I will not be scheduling anything else on that day. It is definitely going down.
And that's February 29th?
Yes, Saturday, February 29th. And don't forget that also is the weekend that they're doing Publix. So they're gonna do it as a joint weekend.
American Marathon or something like that.
They're making it a full weekend. So that's when Publix usually is in March, in the beginning of March. So they're shifting it back a little bit, so it'll be a whole weekend, so people can come in town not only for that but also for the race.
So which one is first? So is the trials first and
Saturday
then?
And
okay. And
then marathon happening. 5K is gonna be on Sunday.
ATC's gonna be humping.
Oh yes,
they're gonna be humping that weekend. That's gonna be interesting to see. I guess more than likely, you might not see unless we get somebody from another country that comes and runs Publix. But you're not going to see any real, Americans running, like elites Americans, because they'll probably be running the trial the day before.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really going to be exciting, and just being able to, the energy that's going to be in Atlanta that weekend is just going to be amazing, especially if, you are a runner.
And when I looked at the little virtual one, it does go down into like the, for Publix, I know you ran the 5K, but in the marathon, like after you come back to Olympic Park and then you go back out again, part of that is on that race, on that
race course.
On the race course as well.
I did the half marathon in what was that when they did takedown? 2017?
Oh, that you did the half marathon.
I did the half.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's part of that because that was actually the new part of the Publix course,
right?
Since they didn't go out to Decatur, so I did notice that, like, oh, okay, maybe they were just, testing it out, but it's still a little hilly.
Of course.
Yeah, it's still a little hilly.
Let me ask you a question, Tommy. So when you are running a full marathon, how many miles do you feel like a good refuel is needed? Like, when do you grab water and all that stuff? Like, how often? Or how often do you think is appropriate?
I probably, marathons, I probably take something every time there's a table. So at least after mile 6, I start, and then after that I'll probably do it every time there's a table, which they probably have tables every about 2 miles, I'm thinking. Yeah, depending.
Roundabout.
Yeah.
So for the Olympic marathon trials, they are going to have fluid every 2 miles, and then they're going to have personal stations. So for the athletes to have their own situation every 1/4 of a mile.
Wow, every 1/4 of a mile. Wow.
So I think that is I mean, for whatever they're gonna be needing their supplement. So they get
well,
tested.
I mean, if you're gonna be running that fast,
yeah,
you definitely need your supplements,
right?
And I mean, some people, their whole nutrition is liquid. So you need more of it if you're not doing any kind of solid. Like you're not doing the goo, you're not doing any kind of chews.
Definitely.
Stuff like that.
I think the good thing about it too is that it's definitely going to be cooler in Atlanta by then.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that, about the temperature in February. It could be really cool, actually.
It could be cold.
Yeah, you're right. It could be downright cold. It
could be downright cold in Atlanta in February, or it can be warm. I mean, there's been I remember being some Valentine's days where I was wearing t-shirts and like short sleeve t-shirts.
Yeah.
So, but I've also remember some Februarys that were super cold and we're still wearing coats and jackets and all that stuff.
I got you. I don't go out on Valentine's, so I don't remember the temperature.
Okay. Heather, get
them. Anyway,
yes.
Speaking of Valentine and dating, this new movie.
Yes. I thought. Listen, if you were watching live, I wish you would. You probably saw my facial expression. I just looked at Tommy like, "What you about to ask? Or what you about to say?"
That's a hell of a segue. I don't know what you're talking about. But there's this running movie coming out.
Yes, it's called Brittany Runs a Marathon.
Brittany Runs a Marathon. It's starring a young lady named Julian Bell. And you've probably seen her in other stuff. I know she was on this TV show called Workaholics. She's a comedian. She's a very physical comedian. A larger woman. I mean, not super large, but a larger woman. Somebody that you looked at wouldn't think she was a runner.
Slim.
Yeah, you wouldn't think she was a runner at all. But
I'm about to get you.
What?
You
wouldn't.
You look at her, you wouldn't think she's a runner?
You wouldn't.
Be nice.
First off, she wasn't a runner.
She was not.
She is a runner now.
Yes, she is.
She was not a runner. Before she was a runner, I would look and say, no, I don't think you're a runner. Whatever. Anyway, so she stars in this movie, and the thing that's unique about this movie is they actually shot some of it during the actual New York City Marathon.
Right.
But it's basically, the basic premise is this woman, what did they tell her? She needed to lose like 55 pounds?
She went to the doctor.
Yeah.
She said she's been tired and fatigued and can't get herself together. She can't focus, given all these symptoms. And he said, basically, you just need to lose 55 pounds.
And she said, that's about the size of a Siberian Husky. And she said, you want me to pull a Siberian Husky out of my body?
Right.
So it's definitely a comedy.
Yes.
But, I mean, in the end, I think it ends up being kind of a rom-com. Because she has a love interest or whatever. But anyway, so she becomes active in this movie. And she ends up, and her whole thing is, I want to run a marathon. Now.
And she wants to run New York City Marathon,
yes,
not
New
just
York
a
City,
marathon.
Yeah. But I think so many people can relate.
Yes.
To that.
Yes. So I think that what's the part that's going to be relatable is that within the movie, per the trailer, it looks like she's definitely talking about how much of a struggle it is, her feeling like she runs quote unquote slow, being heavier set, carrying extra cargo, which is something that I talk about all the time, just being able to get into it, juggling work-life balance, relationship with also trying to train. So I think that a lot of people are able to relate to this movie, and it seems like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it looks, I love comedies. I really don't like action and comedy. That's all I want to see.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, okay, that looks like fun. Because I've seen some comedy running movies. I was talking, because we were talking before the show, before we started recording, we were talking about, well, what's our favorite running movies? And I think you said Spirit of...
I said Race. The Jesse Owens track and field.
Yeah. Yeah, mine actually is it's called Run Fat Boy Run. About basically kind of the same thing about this one with Julian Bell. It's basically about a guy that loses his girlfriend. He wants to get in shape, and his girlfriend's new boyfriend runs the London Marathon, and he decides, well, I'm going to run the London Marathon to try to get her back, and he starts training and so on and so forth. It's you should check it out because it's a great scene about hitting a wall that I think a lot of runners definitely could relate to. But that's one of my favorites. Another one, what's the one about the Latin running team in Texas? It had Kevin Costner turned out to be the coach.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
You know what I'm talking about? That was actually, I finally got to see that one. It was a cross-country team, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was a cross-country team in Texas that they kind of did. It's a true story. They did a story about it where this coach, who was a football coach, he comes into town, and he sees that, okay, it's a mostly Latin or Mexican group that go to that school. And he's like, there's no real football players here, but they all have the stamina and the diet, because they eat a lot of rice and beans and stuff like that, to be runners. And he turns them into like one of the top cross country teams in Texas.
Nice.
But that's
I have to look into that one.
Mm-hmm.
You all let us know what your favorite running movie is, because as I Google running movies, I was like, oh, I'm missing out. There's a lot of them that I need to ensure that I watch.
Yes, most definitely.
There's some really good ones.
It's a lot of them out there. Of course, Spirit of the Marathon, which is the first one, is about Chicago, and we were trying to think. I can't, because there's another one, Spirit of the Marathon 2. These are both documentaries. These are actually real people talking about training, and they find people of kind of what you did when you were getting ready to run, when you did it with Oxley. Derek with Derek Oxley. Kind of the same premise.
Documenting the process.
Yeah, documenting the process of getting ready to run a marathon.
Yes, and I mean, I think that the benefit of it is being able to empathize with someone that is trying to run a marathon and working in the training, and it kind of gives you an understanding that your struggles that you're going through training, you're not alone.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a good benefit of it, and also learning some tricks and trades of things that you should be doing. So definitely check out Brittany Runs a Marathon. It is currently in very exclusive. I know here in Atlanta, it's in two. Well, as of Thursday, it'll be in two theaters, Phipps Plaza, and then there is another one on Spring Cinema and Tap House. It's going to be there until August 23rd, so it'll be in limited theaters, and then it's going to go nationwide August 23rd. So definitely check that out. Also, if you're in Atlanta, Fiddipides is having a viewing on September 10th, which is next Tuesday at 7 p.m. at the Tap House location. So they're bringing a lot of the run crews and run groups and just individuals that are interested in running to all go view Brittany Runs a Marathon at one sitting. So I think that'll be good. Probably be some discussion or something, going on within that. So that'll be a good little outing, and you all let us know how you like it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try to check it out.
Yeah, me too.
Drag Bay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You might have to tell me about it, because I don't get to go to movies anymore, so. Because Heather doesn't think you can take a baby to a movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
I understand. I don't want to hear a crying baby in the movies, but I think that maybe you get them, take them during nap time when y'all usually sleep. We usually sleep.
Babies don't sleep, but yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
It's an hour and 40. I think it's an hour and 40 minutes.
That might not be bad. Anything over, once you get in that 2 hours,
I think it's only a little bit over. It's an hour and 40 minutes or something. Yeah. So you should be able to take them. Take them during nap time. Make sure you strategically plan.
Well, no, I would just take them really early. Like, even before the matinee, so there's not a lot of people in there.
That's it.
So I can let them cry. But anyway, now we're almost done with this podcast, but next week.
Yes.
Yeah, so usually we have a podcast, every 2 weeks, but we are going to have a special podcast with the group from The Race. So, it's going to come out next Thursday, so we're going to kind of record at the same time on Tuesday or whatever. But be looking forward to that.
Yes. Look out for that, and we'll be interviewing them, and they'll have some good stuff to tell us, and hopefully get you all pumped that have not registered for the race to get on it, so that y'all can be a part of a great experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, we got anything else?
That's all.
That's all. Well, in that case.
Yes.
How can they get in touch with you, India?
You can reach me at Eye of Indigo Runs. That's underscore under each letter. And then you can also hit me up on email at milesfromindia@gmail.com and on Facebook at India Cook.
Oh, and you can reach me at Thomas W. Mitchell, 2 @gmail.com or at The Run Duo on Instagram. But hit us up there. Another great episode.
Yes, very, very good.
Very good. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.